Hi, this is Gary Auerbach, and I'm in WINLife Media Studios, part of WINLifeTV.com. And this show is called This Week in Winchester. Winchester, Virginia, where I live, and I'm happy to be here. And there's so much going on that I've created this concept of bringing people together to talk about what they know in case I don't know everything. And I'm going to share a lot of different things that I found that is happening here in Winchester. So we're going to start off today by saying, hey, it's January 5th, but next month we'll be doing this a little bit earlier because there are a few things that we've already missed. But I don't want you to miss some things that are happening this week. For instance, at El Centro, we got Paul Freshley playing acoustic music at El Centro Mexican Cafe on the Walking Mall. Friday night, we've had like about 5 different things, including an amazing concert by Travis Tritt at the Orstrom Theater. Get some more details about that in a minute. You have an Elvis birthday party with April May and the June Bugs is going to be at Sweet Nola's Cafe, and I might be doing an interview with April May, so stay tuned for that. The Dill Pickers, who you saw if you were watching our New Year's Day showcase, they'll be at Stevens Jazz Cafe on Friday. So that's just the rest of this week happening, and we'll get to some more stuff in a minute. But I have a guest today, and our guest is the new Director of Tourism for Winchester-Frederick County Tourism and Convention and
Visitors Bureau.
Convention and Visitors Bureau. You heard him.
It's a big, long one.
Now I'll introduce him.
The tourism guy.
It's Justin Kerns. He's the tourism guy. That makes sense. I like that, Justin. And website for all sorts of information is visitwinchesterva.com. Justin, thanks for coming on and welcome.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you for the welcome. Thank you. And Happy New Year to you too. Thank you.
Isn't there a lot going on in Winchester?
You know, we just had this thing, we do a radio show too, and I was getting ready for the radio show last week, and we were going to talk about the events, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to, what is there to talk about? Nothing happens in January.
Right.
And so we ran off this list of stuff, and it was 2 pages long.
2 pages.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time now.
Right.
I thought there was going to be nothing, and there's so much stuff going on. It helps so much that we have the university here. There's so much music, and that's what I was really, and you've already focused on it, you've already talked about it, is a lot of it is this music. You've got these shows, this vibe that's going on
here. And some of the shows, I know you mentioned the university, I think it's next weekend, the 15th, 16th, is the Jazz Symposium?
Yes, International Saxophone Symposium at Shenandoah. Yeah,
right.
Largest saxophone event in the world comes to Winchester. Concerts, recitals, lectures, demonstrations, exhibits, and vendor displays, and it is FREE free.
So with the jazz or the saxophone symposium, I guess it doesn't have to be just jazz. And actually, I remember I went to the concert at Hanley High School last year, and there was a variety of music. It wasn't just jazz. And there were so many people in the audience who have come from all over the country to Winchester, to this program that's happening at Shenandoah and at concerts at Hanley High School. They're doing workshops, they have guest master teachers and stuff. I don't understand the music genre, you know, I'm not a sax player, but I could tell the audience was going, wow, did you hear that, you know? And the musicians were performing for an appreciative audience.
Right.
It was just really great.
And that's one of those great opportunities to come in and see some of the best performers out there.
Because it's free.
Right, and it's
like
free.
You said.
It's free, yeah. So, I mean, there's...
And the Patsy Cline Theater is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I've been to a number of shows there, including some of the programs by the high school or the community theater.
Right.
It's just fantastic. Now, we have somebody really special coming this week, and that's Travis Tritt.
Yes, and I was hesitant to promote it too much because all the regular tickets are sold out. There's only VIP tickets left. I think they're
$150 for the VIP tickets, and they still have some.
Not many.
Right.
There's only a couple left.
And this is like I'm not sure how it works, but a Bonnie Blue production.
Yes.
they're behind it somehow, and
Yes.
and they're the wonderful Southern Bakery Restaurant right at
Just had lunch there yesterday.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Yep. Had a
Boscawen
Cuban
and
there.
Amherst, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're great.
Yes.
We sometimes go there for breakfast.
Oh, I haven't had that. I heard their breakfast was fantastic. I have not been there for the breakfast yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I really do. But it's a fundraiser for the battlefield.
The Shenandoah Battlefield Foundation, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I think it's great, even if you're not into Travis Tritt. I'm not a big Travis Tritt fan, but it's great to see this kind of philanthropy from an artist
Yes.
like that for this sort of a benefit. Not every artist would go out and do this sort of a thing for this kind of a benefit. So I
Right.
think it's just a great showing. It's a great showing of kind of who Travis Tritt is,
Right.
how good of a person he is with thinking of these foundations, thinking of these preservation organizations. So yeah, we're lucky to have him.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And going back to some of the other music that I mentioned, and I kind of stopped on Friday. So there's Travis Tritt on Friday, and the Elvis birthday bash at Sweet Nola's.
Yes.
Which I think is where we met, actually.
Yes,
It was at
the
the
Artisan Trail.
Trail event,
Yes.
talking about that was really great. But I also know, and I don't have all of the details now, but we'll talk about it later. We'll get some more out to you. The Stevens Jazz Cafe,
Yes.
have you been up there?
They are so cool.
Yeah.
I've been by there. I was actually in George's place, which is almost across the street. It's
Right.
kind of up and across the street.
Right.
And that's where like Little Richard and James Brown used to play. I mean, it's amazing the history that's in that little place. I mean, it's a community convenience store now.
Right,
but
right.
I just wandered in there and just said, "Hey, how you doing?" And
That's
started
great.
talking with them. And it's amazing what you'll find out when you go into a place, and you just don't, just wander in and say, "Hi, how you doing? What's the deal here?"
And Justin,
they're
I thought
super nice.
I knew everything already, but you just shared something about with that,
Fats
I didn't
Domino
know
used to
that,
play
yeah.
there.
No
yeah,
kidding.
it's a little convenience store.
Well,
I
I know the place you mean. Yeah.
in the back, it's closed off now, but
Right.
there's kind of a restaurant area in the back, and George was there,
Right.
and he showed me around, kind of in the back where the stage used to be and where they used
Right.
to do the shows. It used to be the community center. Began with an F. I can't remember it right now,
Frederick?
but no, not
No.
Frederick.
Okay.
But it was kind of a community center.
Okay.
And that's where they would hold these concerts.
Great.
That's where they would come and play in the 50s.
And you know what I love, and I often use hashtag why I love Winchester. Is like things like that I discover or I learn about, and then I just put it out there because I want other people to do that too and
Right.
kind of discover. So,
Yeah.
if you have a hashtag why you love Winchester, then if I put it in, and I can find what you're loving, and
Right.
and vice versa, so we can share that. I know on Saturday night there's a lot going on also this week.
Yeah, well, do you ever talk about the Winchester Little Theater?
Oh my
They've got
gosh,
the
of course
third
I
is
do.
Playing. Okay, they've
Justin,
got a show.
I'm so sorry. Winchester Little Theater was here on January 1st.
Okay,
And I
all right.
spoke to Sally and Jeff and James, who's the actor, and Sally's, I believe, one of the directors of the Winchester Little Theater.
Okay.
And they're opening this week.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the 8th through the 17th. It's a play called
Fantastic.
Third.
Third by
Yes.
Wendy Wasserstein. And
Yes.
I know that one of the actors was telling me that he portrays an elderly gentleman with beginning Alzheimer's or developing Alzheimer's, and he's been doing a lot of research into that. And it's going to be a fascinating show. Actually, I'm going to go see it. And I know Thursday night they kind of have a preview night.
Okay, okay.
It's $5 off ticket
Oh, I
price.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay.
Thursday night is a little bit cheaper. They also just had their dress rehearsal, and Sally told me it went great, so I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, we're
Cool.
all about promoting the community theater that we have here,
And
Winchester
that's a cool
Little Theater.
asset. That's such a cool little asset.
It's in that old train station.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Right.
they're putting on a new roof, so you don't have to worry about snow coming in or anything. That roof is solid, and Sally was telling me how they're just so lucky that they have their set builders and designers right there. They do a lot of things in-house. They store their costumes in different places, I think, where they have a little more room.
Right.
But
it's just one of those hidden gems that we have here.
Absolutely.
You know? And people just, one of those things, one of those cool discoveries that people can make when they start kind of looking.
And they're right across the street from Bonnie Blue.
Blue.
We
Yep.
already mentioned them.
I was going to let you say it. Oh, that's funny.
Great.
What else do we have? I have this on my list, and you either like it or you don't. But
Yeah.
At the Bright Box, they have the Divas Drag Show going on the 9th, January 9th.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the drag show yet, but I know that Erwin Loring, who runs Kaleidoscope Comedy and brings in the comedy shows each month to the Bright Box, has arranged for the drag shows to be coming.
Okay.
I've heard from folks at the Bright Box that the first show is always sold out, you know, which is amazing. Right. It starts at 7 or 7:30, and then the later show, you know, there's probably still a few seats left, but it starts a little later at 10 o'clock. And that's on Saturday.
Yes.
I think
7 p.m. and 10 p.m.
7 and 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Great. I think the basketball team might have a home game this weekend, the Winchester Storm.
That could be in here. It might,
that's
yes.
on
there it is.
Hanley
Yep, there
High
it is.
School.
Yep.
And I think that's free also, which is a great
admission
thing to do.
Well, it says admission fee on mine.
Oh, admission fee, not free.
Admission fee, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You
I'm
left out
having
the
spelling
R.
difficulties.
Right. It's okay. It's still early. It's still early.
Not really.
Early enough.
Great. But you know, we have a amateur or semi-professional, I don't know what they prefer to be called. I want to talk to Norman about that actually, and maybe meet some of their players and have a little game of one-on-one. I used to play basketball in high school, but that was a long time ago. But the fact that it's right here again, you don't have to go very far to find all different types of entertainment.
And we've got the semi-pro baseball team. Obviously not playing right now, but we've got
the Royals.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got some sports here.
Yeah,
too,
Winchester Royals are amazing.
Yeah,
I've seen a few of their games.
Absolutely. So obviously not this time of year.
Right.
11 degrees is not great baseball weather, but
right. The other show that I know about, one of the other performers who is here on January 1st was Engine Number 9.
Okay.
And they're a 4-piece group, really, really fun. And they're playing at 147 North on the Walking Mall on January 9th, which is Saturday night.
Which is Saturday night.
Yeah. Coming up, I know, next week, and we're going to be talking with somebody from Apple Blossom's Got Talent. I think Wednesday next week is the first audition, first of 3 auditions, and actually I auditioned for it 2 years ago, and I made the first cut. So what they do is from each audition they accept 30 acts, or this is how they did it. We'll check if they're changing it, but they did 30 acts and 10 advanced to the next round. So they did that 3 times. So then on the final round, the semifinals, they had 30 acts again.
Oh, wow.
And then I think 8 advanced to the finals. But I didn't make the second cut. So it was determined that I have no talent, but...
I wouldn't even go up. I wouldn't make it past first round, so...
Right. Well, you never know.
I'm behind-the-scenes guy.
But Apple Blossom's Got Talent is happening next Wednesday, and I think that's at the Bright Box Theater.
Yes.
Which
January 13th, 7 p.m.
Great. And
yes.
I think it's free to go in. Of course, they'll have, beverages, maybe food available there. Now, we talked about Winchester Little Theater because I did have that on here. We talked about the Stevens Jazz Cafe, the band that's playing, I know, on Friday night is the Dill Pickers, and that's a mother and son duo. They also played here, and you can see our January 1st broadcast because it's on live stream. It always stays there. And it's on WINLifeTV.com.
Okay.
You can search for it right there. And we got somebody coming in the door here, so come on in, and we'll be with you in just a moment if you don't mind just warming up a little bit. Some of the other things that have been happening around town that have really picked up, even in the cold, are the ghost tours.
Yes.
The haunted tours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing I was going to mention that week as well, these are very popular. They sell out.
Yeah.
At Valerie Hill. I don't know if that's where you were going, but
Oh,
I was
right.
going to talk about the one at Valerie Hill. Valerie Hill Winery, if you haven't been out there, beautiful winery set in an 1800s home, and it's supposed to be haunted like you wouldn't believe.
And it's just off of Stevens
just
City,
outside
right?
of Stevens City, just a
Yeah.
little bit southwest of Stevens
Yeah.
City. Yeah, so
Wonderful
it's not
place.
far at all
Right.
out in the country. These sell out. I mean, like crazy. There's only
Yeah.
2 left. They do a whole schedule of them, and
Right.
there's only 2 left when we printed this, which was a few days ago. So they might not even still be available, but check out Valerie Hill. Go on their website, check it out. But it's a History and Hauntings tour. There's one on the 13th and the 27th of January that were still available there at 6 p.m. There's a buffet dinner, a glass of your favorite Valerie Hill wine, and a detailed tour of the manor house. So they talk about the hauntings and all of that stuff. And they've got some pretty
That's
chilling
great.
stories. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I know we're going back and forth and all over the place, dates and places, but I've been a part of Film Club 3.0, which runs out of the Alamo Draft House, and Andy Geyerson
Andy.
runs that.
He's a character.
Yeah, he's a character. He'll make you laugh just
Oh,
thinking about him.
ton of energy,
He
that
runs
guy.
in saying,
Yeah.
"Film Club, welcome." But there's films going on, and you can find this all at Film Club 3.0 on Facebook, or go to their blog is from the projectionroom.wordpress.com.
Okay.
But they have their listings for the whole month. It's usually Wednesday nights and Sunday afternoons, but they have some, I think one Friday night this month also. And we get to see, sometimes it's pre-releases or indie, foreign, cult, and classic films. And it's just a wonderful thing.
I think there's like a couple thousand people now that have. I mean, it's.
I think it's grown, and my wife and I were
They
at
don't
the
all show up at the
first
same
film
time,
club.
but- right.
Nobody ever shows up at the same time. But not only does, I think we're up to 1,800, 1,900
Yeah.
subscribers.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of people.
lot for
And
this-
you know what,
yeah.
Justin, people come from Springfield, Virginia, and further to come to a film club event. And whether they drive home or stay overnight, I'm not really sure, but we
prefer them to
people.
stay the night.
Of course we do.
Of course.
There's hotels right
Yes.
in
Oh, yeah.
town.
Oh, yeah.
There's alternatives too. But also happening this week at the library. Our Hanley Library is not only doing
Yes.
a tour of the library, which is free, which if you've never done is an amazing opportunity. It's on Wednesday at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday, they're having a concert at 12:15 with Bud's Collective.
Yes.
It's a local
Yes.
group.
Yes.
It's
They're
just
always doing stuff at that library. They are
Yeah.
always doing stuff at that library. And a lot of people don't make it, a lot of people don't even know that they're in there, but down on the
Yeah.
very base floor is the archives. And that's a
the
cool
archives.
place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of family history stuff down there, and they preserve a lot of just artifacts and writings, and there's some really old, cool stuff down in those archives down in
Right,
there.
right.
And you get people coming from all over the world looking at family history that come there as that destination. So
That's totally.
it's a really cool place.
I love it.
That's
You
a
know,
cool library.
people ask us sometimes why we moved to Winchester, and my first answer is usually the library. And they say, "What do you mean?" And then if they're visiting and they see it, and then they look at it and they go, "Oh, I understand."
We just need to fix the parking. That's the only
Oh,
thing
the
about that we
parking
need
for the
to
library.
fix. Yeah, remember,
Ah.
it just brings some quarters because you're going to have to park on the street.
That's true.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
My wife goes there with our daughter. They do, if anybody's listening that has daughters or kids, little children, they do great programs during the afternoon, and they actually do like a dance session
Yeah.
for little kids, like a toddler dance session.
Nice.
And they do that on every Friday. Every single Friday they do it, and it's free.
That's great.
So, but my wife had to learn to bring quarters with
Dance
her to
party at
to
the
park.
library.
Yep, and then you can go across the street to the Jamaican place for lunch.
Oh, to see
afterwards.
Lloyd at Island Tropical Island
Lloyd,
Cafe.
yep.
That's a great
that's
idea.
Yeah.
Okay, you're making me hungry. But I just want to mention, I think parking's free on Saturday there, right?
Yes,
When you go to the
yes,
library, you don't
yeah.
need quarters.
On the weekends.
Okay, yeah.
Weekends and holidays.
Yeah, don't just go on Saturdays.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah.
Don't just go on Saturdays, but just a word of warning, just bring some quarters with you, yeah.
Justin, I really appreciate you coming in today.
Absolutely.
And I said we were going to do this the beginning of each month, and I think your event calendar that's on visitwinchesterva.com is available all the time.
Yes.
And people can subscribe to it. But having you come on here and talk about with the different events and with a little more passion in your voice and my voice and maybe with other special guests, I think this is really going to drive people to get out and do the things that we can put them on a list, but how do we get people to go out and do it?
And it's just, and it's all over, there's just so much. I mean, I've got,
yeah.
we didn't even touch all of this stuff, there's so much stuff going on. And actually, I wanted to mention on our Facebook page too. If you look up on our Facebook page,
Okay.
we actually have this. You can print this up. You can download it.
That's
and print
where
it.
I saw it, and that's Visit
right.
Winchester.
Yeah, if you just look up Visit Winchester VA on
Okay.
Facebook, you'll find us and just
All
like
right.
us and follow us. And we do this. Renee in our office, she does this every month.
Great.
Very dutifully does this every month, and it's a great piece, and it's a great little cheat sheet. Print it up, stick it on your refrigerator, and it'll
Sure.
that'll tell you what's going on.
So Justin, let's wrap up, and
Okay.
we'll see you at the beginning of February. Can we get you back here?
Well, we have another child due on the way. My wife and I are expecting a child sometime in February,
Justin,
so
that's
probably
awesome.
later. So probably
Wait.
early February should be.
This
safe,
isn't breaking news, right?
No,
I
this
mean,
is
your
not-
parents know and all.
If it's due in February, I
Oh,
hope so.
okay,
Yeah,
right,
you
right,
can't.
gotcha.
Yeah, kind of hard to hide it at this point.
Well, wonderful.
But so February is probably safe. March may or may not be
Totally
immediately
understand.
available.
And again,
Yes.
welcome
But
to
thank you so much.
your
Thank
your
you.
new position. Is
We love it here.
Good.
We love it here.
Good.
We chose to move here. We wanted to be here for a while. We wanted to pick the next place, not just going to be a job for a good career move, but also a place where my wife and I wanted to live, but we also wanted a place for our daughter that would be a good place for her to grow up. There's stuff to do, but it's still not, there's still community. So
Yeah.
we've still got all the activity and the stuff to do and the places to shop, but it's still a community. So I think we found that here.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we love it here. So
All right. Well,
thank you
thanks
for the
again,
welcome.
Justin. This
I
has
appreciate it.
been great.
All right,
And,
kick me off. All right.
Okay, I'm kicking you off, and I'm just saying goodbye for now. It's Gary Auerbach
All right.
here at WinLife TV, and this show is This Week in Winchester with Gary Auerbach.